Good evening. It is 5:30, May 19th, 2025. We're going to begin our meeting tonight with the Board of Liquor and Tobacco Control, so I'd like to call that meeting to order. Are there any agenda changes or additions?
No.
Okay. We have one set of minutes to approve tonight of May 5th, 2025. Do we have a motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes of 5/1/25.
I'll second.
Okay, so Richard moved it and Laura seconded it. Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of moving the minutes of May 5th, 2025, say aye.
Aye.
That would be unanimous, Judy. I believe that we have this evening under new business liquor license applications. We have Vermont Harvest Catering LLC doing business as Ryder Brook Golf Club. They're looking for first class, third class, and outside consumption. We have Bombastic Industries doing business as 10 Railroad Street, looking for a first class only. And Premium Properties Morrisville doing business as Morrisville Beverage, looking for a second class. I'm assuming that everybody is okay with that? Jason?
Yes, Chief.
Yeah.
Chief said no concerns with any of the applicants.
Okay, so do we have a motion?
The Bombastic, CO Grocers, and Martin's Food, is that where you're at?
I have Ryder Brook.
No, I don't.
Other sheet, yeah.
Sorry.
These are liquor license.
Oh. I move to approve the first class, third class, and outside consumption license for Vermont Harvest Catering, doing businesses as Ryder Brook Golf Club. I move to approve the liquor license, first class of Bombastic Industries, doing business as 10 Railroad. I move to approve the liquor license of Premium Properties Morrisville LLC, doing business as Morrisville Beverage for second class.
Okay, so we have a motion by Richard. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Laura. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the 3 liquor license applications, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that would be unanimous. I believe we have one tobacco license renewal this evening. It's for Premium Properties Morrisville LLC, doing business as Morrisville Beverage. They're looking for tobacco and tobacco substitute endorsement.
I'll move to approve the tobacco license renewal for Premium Properties Morrisville LLC, doing beverages Morrisville Beverage for tobacco and tobacco substitutes.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion by Richard, second by Laura. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That would be unanimous. I don't believe there is any catering permits, so I believe that concludes our business tonight under liquor and tobacco control, so I would accept the motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn the
Second.
Board of Liquor and Tobacco.
Okay, so motion by Richard, second by Laura. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you. So it is,
Maybe give
Yep.
me just a couple of minutes.
we will.
The system's a little finicky when I try to move from one to another. So it's gonna be 1 second. I'm all set, Chris.
Okay.
Thank you.
So it is 5:34, Monday, May 19th, 2025. I'd like to call the Select Board meeting to order. Are there any agenda changes or additions?
No.
Okay. We'll open tonight's meeting with community comments. Is there anybody here that would like to offer a comment? All right, seeing none, we'll keep moving. We have two sets of minutes to approve tonight. First one is May 1st, the second is May 5th. Do we have a motion on minutes for May 1st, 2025?
I'll move to approve the minutes of May 1st, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Richard, second by Laura. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That would be unanimous. The meeting minutes of May 5th, 2025.
Move to approve the meeting minutes of May 5th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion by Richard, a second by Laura. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
That would be unanimous as well. Under new business tonight, we have 6 items. The first is what we are calling on the spot awards. And we have actually 3 announcements tonight and 3 people to honor. On the spot award write-ups are an opportunity for this municipality to show their appreciation, outstanding appreciation for what our employees bring to the table. And although our employees, give their time and energy and talents every day and night of the week, we do take this opportunity to take a moment and recognize what we feel, the administration feels, and the board feels is something really special. And the first would be, we'd like to recognize Kevin Petrocco. Kevin has demonstrated outstanding dedication and initiative while serving as the interim assistant zoning administrator role, which he voluntarily assumed during a very critical period without a zoning and planning administrator. While in this role, he successfully completed multiple professional development courses with top scores, including International Association of Assessing Officers 101 and 102, and earned several Lister training certifications. At the same time, he expanded his expertise in zoning analysis, permitting, E911 coordination, and public service, exemplifying a strong commitment to professional growth into the town of Morristown community. Kevin's willingness to step up as interim assistant zoning administrator has been an invaluable service to this community, delivered with the highest level of professionalism. And Kevin, if you'd like to rise, we'd all like to say thank you very much. I do want to say that you will be presented a certificate after we sign it this evening as a board, and you'll be honored once again by your peers when it's presented to you. So thank you very much. Our second on-the-spot award this evening goes to 2 people here. On May 1st, 2025, paramedic Colby Massey, I hope I said that correctly, and advanced EMT Lori Martin demonstrated exceptional professionalism, composure, and clinical expertise while responding to a call involving a critically injured individual. Their swift on-scene stabilization, clear communication with hospital staff, and decisive action were instrumental in achieving a positive outcome for the patient. Their actions reflect the highest standards of emergency medical care and embody the dedication Morristown EMS strives to deliver every day. So thank you very much for Lori and Colby for your service, and we very much appreciate it. Would you please rise? And you also will be honored with a certificate of appreciation, and it will be presented to you in a separate ceremony. So thank you very much for all of your services. Would you like?
Chris, could we just, in addition, honor This week is National EMS Week, and
Yes, absolutely.
just like to proudly recognize all of you for your incredible service to our community, your dedication, your skill, and unwavering commitment to our community. So I can't even imagine, based upon some of the information I received from your chief, former chief, current chief, and all of what you do. And I've had the opportunity just on one occasion to hear firsthand some of the situations that you respond to. So on behalf of the town, I just can't thank you enough for the service that you provided the community. Wanted to recognize that, especially this week for National EMS Service Week.
All right. All right, thank you all very much. And now that you're here, you get to stay for the rest of the meeting as well. Our second order of business tonight is to sign a resolution renewing participation in Lamoille FiberNet CUD and appointing a representative. John, you were here this evening. Would you like to speak at all on behalf of FiberNet? We have a resolution that we'll be reading and an appointment for you. So I just want to give you the opportunity if you'd like to.
Hi, my name is John Meyer. Jane Campbell is the primary representative. She can't be here tonight. Car repairs are taking longer than they promised. So I'm here to ask that you reappoint the two of us. Otherwise, things are going really well for Lamoille FiberNet. We're looking at phase 2 that was just announced that's starting, and that's going to take care of the last spurs out at the end of 15, Furland Pit and Lois Lane, so out in that area. Announced a change in long drops, so we're now going to be able to help people that have the distance from where they need to get their service from to their home. That distance was just announced that it's going to be increased, so for those people that couldn't do it because it was a little too far, they might now be within the zone. I would say those are probably the two big announcements for Lamoille FiberNet as far as Morrisville is concerned.
Yeah, my understanding is that they received some additional funding to be able to do the long drops. Is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
So I was able to bring some of those to fruition.
Yep. It's as with a lot of things, money is the limiting factor, and when you can save money or secure more money, it gives you opportunities to help more people out. So.
Yep. Perfect. For anybody in the audience that may not know, Lamoille FiberNet is funded through a combination of grant funding from the Vermont Community Broadband Board and private investment from Consolidated Communications. There are several, I think, Lamoille County towns that have offered ARPA funds to help in their areas as well. Those towns are Belvedere, Cambridge, Eden, Hyde Park, Johnson, Waterville, and Wolcott. And those who didn't have ARPA funds available to do, to be part of that was Elmore, Morristown, and Stowe, but Morristown still is part of the Lamoille County FiberNet group. So we appreciate your service and Jane's service, and hopefully that project will come to fruition the way it was supposed to. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, great. I have misplaced my resolution here, so I may need to borrow it because yep, that's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. So tonight, we actually have two things to do. We have a resolution to renew the participation in Lamoille FiberNet. We do this on an annual basis. as well as we will appoint Jane Campbell as our representative and John Meyer as the alternate member as well. If you'd like me to, I can read the resolutions so that's part of the record.
Do we need to? I don't know.
It's up to the chair, really.
Why don't we, so that it's part of the, as part of the record for the minutes. Resolution renewing participation in the Lamoille FiberNet Communications Union District and appointing representative to the governing board thereof. Whereas the town of Morristown Selectboard desires to continue participation in the Lamoille FiberNet Communications Union District, now known as District or Lamoille FiberNet, under the provisions of 30 VSA Chapter 82, and whereas, as provided in Section 3059 of said chapter, annually on or before the last Monday in April, the legislative body of each member shall appoint a representative in one or more alternates to the governing board for one-year terms with appointments of representatives and alternates in writing signed by the chair of the legislative body of the appointing member and presented to the clerk of the district. Now and therefore be it resolved that the select board of the town of Morristown hereby approves the continued participation in the Lamoille FiberNet Communications Union District and its qualification as a communications union district under the provisions of 30 VSA Chapter 82. And the select board of the town of Morristown hereby appoints the following representative in one or more alternates to the governing board of the Lamoille FiberNet Communications Union District for the term ending the last day in April 2026. The representative would be Jane Campbell, and the alternate would be John Meyer. Adopted at a regular meeting of the select board of the town of Morristown, duly held on today, May 19th, 2025. Do we have any thoughts or questions?
No.
Nope.
Okay. I would entertain two motions, actually.
I will move to approve the continued participation in the Lamoille FiberNet Communications Union District and its qualification as a communications union district under provisions of 30 VSA Chapter 82.
Okay. We have a motion by Richard. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Laura. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 That would be unanimous, Judy.
I'll move to appoint Jane Campbell as a representative and John Meyer as an alternate to the governing board of the Lamoille FiberNet Communication Union District for the term ending on the last day in April 2026.
Okay, so we have a motion by Richard,
Second.
second by Laura. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 That would be unanimous. All right, thank you for letting me do that. Thank you, John.
Thanks,
Thank you. Our next order of business is street treats, an itinerant vendors, peddlers, food sales application. We have an application this evening from Brittany Benway, and I also believe that there's a co-applicant here as well, Kyle Rowell, to have an ice cream truck. They will be selling prepackaged ice creams. They were hoping to drive around town with music one day a week for a few hours. They haven't decided on a day or time frame yet. Some of the requirements that the town has for a vendor's application is a certificate of liability insurance with a minimum coverage of $1 million. Shall be paid and presented to the town administration office prior to issuance of a license, and they have done so. It has also given us a copy of their license to operate from the Commissioner of Health, Vermont Department of Health, and they've also given us a certificate of insurance for their vehicle as well. Licenses shall be valid from April 1st to November 15th. and the licensing period or fractional part thereof, the license fee for a lunch wagon, ice cream truck, mobile, or temporary stand shall be $75. Is there anything that I've missed? Is there any thoughts or?
Yes. First of all, if you notice, this was approved 2014. This is way out of date. It's, this is kind of a catch-22 because this is so out of date for lots and lots of reasons. And it was probably drafted with the intent that it would be down at Oxbow. I personally have issues with a truck driving around town for our, and I can guarantee you, institutional knowledge tells me this is going to be a huge issue with our brick and mortars. Because if this pulls up in front of, somewhere Hoagie's has ice cream, and for anybody who has been in town for a while, there's been a huge thing on food trucks pulling up, and they actually wanted a food truck, ordinance, because restaurants and stuff were complaining about food trucks. So to have, in town, if they're gonna drive around town, we should have automobile insurance, because if they hit anybody,
They do have that.
not if you look here, it's general liability,
They have,
In your packet, Laura. there's
has
a
automotive,
file.
okay, okay.
Has both.
But in general, and, so, given that this is what we have, $75 for an entire summer is way out of line. However, this is here, but I certainly, am not in agreement with having them drive around town and competing with our brick and mortars. I think it's a real issue, if they wanted to drive around neighborhoods, but I would want, very established routes. I wanna know where they're gonna be, and playing music. I don't want, if I had a business, I don't want a truck pulling up and playing music. So I love the idea of it. I think it's a wonderful idea. It's probably great at Oxbow, but I think there's way too many issues with this as is, at which I also think I want to put that we have got to reevaluate this. It needs, there's so many things that 2014, the world has changed completely since 2014, so this has got to be redone. But this is what we have now, so out of fairness to this person, but again, I think this was designed, for parked vehicles, not driving around in a business area. So I'm not happy, I will not approve it driving around the village.
Richard, do you have some thoughts?
I kind of have some, I'm not concerned about the brick and mortar because I feel like this gives someone an opportunity to have a business. But I do agree with the routes. It'd be nice to know that they're not going to pull up in front of Hoagie's. I can see your perspective there. But I do think that if you have small children and you want to, and the ice cream truck drives by and you live on Congress Street or Howard Street, you don't have to go to a location to get the ice cream. I mean, so I see your that perspective about the brick and mortar thing, but I also would like to know, or maybe put some, like you said, this needs to be updated, maybe for this in particular, put some limits on where they can and can't go. But I don't think that, in my head, this doesn't present a problem.
Well, I can just tell you, I run the Morrisville Forest Farmers Market, and I'm not allowed to have more than one food vendor because all the food vendors have complained that by having more additional food trucks, it creates competition. So that's been 9 years that I've been there. So
it's a stationary thing though, I think.
Yeah, but it's 4 hours once a week during summer.
I feel
At
like the
9
intent of this,
a.m.
I feel like the
Yeah.
intent of this is residential neighborhoods, not not parked in the parking lot of.
Well, I guess
Right
if
across
that's,
from
yeah, I
homes.
guess that's what I'm asking, is if they
Right.
gave us specific routes, if they were out, you know, in developments outside of town, where, yeah, a kid can't walk to get an ice cream, but Congress Street, they can walk to Maple Fields, you know? We gotta protect our brick and mortars, and I just think it's gonna cause a lot of pushback. I see what you're saying. And I just, again, having been through zoning and DRB, it's been an issue, and with food trucks and stuff, so. So you don't have to agree with me.
It's good conversation. I wouldn't have thought of what you said unless you said it, so it's
Yeah.
good, yeah.
So I would offer this. You know, the person who is applying for this permit is operating under the assumption that this is the authority that we're currently regulated by. Yes, it was written in 2014, but nonetheless, in good faith, they have come before the board to apply for something, and I do not think it's appropriate to not pass this based on the fact that you want to change the authority and the ability. In Waterbury, we had a number of food trucks during my history there. Our select board did put restrictions on where they could or couldn't be, a certain amount of footage from restaurants and such. And the fees were substantially higher because restaurants are paying taxes and you know, food vendors were operating, you know, 8-10 hours a day out on the street, and we're not paying, in their estimation, in our estimation, their fair share of what it was doing. It did draw people to the area, but it was in direct competition with area restaurants. Now, this is an ice cream truck. The next one that comes may be selling burgers. So if you look at the authority that Morristown is now operating under, we do have, under Section E, location of service or services shall be indicated on license as well as vehicle description and plate. They were hoping to drive around town with music one day a week. I don't know if there's any reason why we could not, as a board, put restrictions in terms of being near any of our local eateries. You could say that they would be allowed in residential areas. I think also it would be nice to know what a few hours is. To me, is a few hours, is that 6 hours a day, is that 2 hours a day? You know, what that really means. Because I think that whatever we do this evening or in the future meeting, if you don't move on this, set some sort of precedent until some, you know, updated, criteria is developed.
I will say, having served on the DRB and issued lots of home business permits and permits, we always require the exact hours of operation. So that's the vagueness is, you know, something, but yeah, and the locations of services which have not been presented, so.
Brent, do you have any thoughts?
We have multiple policies, ordinances, et cetera, that need to be updated.
Right.
Happy to do so. But this is the process, you know, it's not under my authority. This needs to be updated for various reasons, but we're just bringing this to you because we have somebody who applied, and I'm happy to update this. It'll be in a list of,
To-dos.
yeah. I do understand that, you know, as with a lot of things, with a municipality, you worry about precedent. So, you know, this is the first one that has been submitted to us since I've been here, and I'm almost a year anniversary here coming up. But you never know. So I will get on this and work to see what other communities have, and take their best practices and start circulating drafts to you.
Well, I think too that, I mean, there is some management within the current regulation in terms of hours of operation and where they can operate. I think that, you know, we have two options tonight. We could put some restrictions on this in terms of where they could operate their ice cream truck. And, but we don't, I would like some clarification in terms of what a few hours means, you know, and where they're gonna be. So if you're open to suggestion, I might put this back to Brittany and say, we have some serious concerns about where you'll operate your truck and its competition with local establishments that are bricks and mortar. So we'd like to put some restrictions on where you're gonna go with this. And we'd also like to get better clarification in terms of the hours of operation and have her come back to us with that clarification. Beyond that, right now, this is the rules of the road. I think that this is what we would operate under, but we do have some jurisdiction over this. That would be my suggestion.
I feel similarly to that. If we can get more clarification on the time and the locations.
Would that satisfy your?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest, I again, because of my institutional knowledge, there has been huge pushback on any kind of food trucks and stuff stationed anywhere in town. And I because of setting precedents, you know, I just wouldn't even consider a moving truck in the village. And I know location is apart, you know, if they want to go to the Wednesday Night Live or the concerts, but, you know, and I see what you're saying, but I think it's a bad precedence to have a moving, you know, thing. So again, and I don't know how, you know, I don't really have the authority to say, but, you know, I just think opening this up for a business in the village just creates traffic issues and all kinds of issues that, you know, so I guess we can put it to them, but, you know.
Well, and I mean, we're a 3-member board tonight.
Yeah.
And it would be good to get input from the other 2 board members as well, so I would suggest.
Because you don't like what I'm saying, so you want to
No,
push
I'm
a
saying
yes
is-
vote is what's going on here. I see what's happening, yeah.
I
So
think
let's
that-
vote.
I think that at this point, Laura, that's
Yeah.
an inappropriate statement.
Well,
So I think that we're all elected as a 5-member board. They may have some other ideas in terms that we're not thinking of.
but they knew this was on the agenda and they're not here.
Right. And it can come back up on an agenda item as well.
I feel like we should put this back to the applicant with more clarification as to time and date and more specifics about where they're gonna be.
Okay.
I think that's the best thing for us to do, because we do have a policy. And as far as setting precedent, we have a policy, I'm assuming for a reason, because we're not straight out banning food trucks
Right.
So there is a need or a reason or something that came up in the past that said that food trucks were something that we needed to entertain. So if we don't approve this, I feel like we're also setting a precedent that without just cause to discriminate against other businesses.
It's a free market society.
Right.
All right, so unless anybody else objects, why don't we table this, ask for some more clarification, Judy, in terms of location and hours of service, and we'll revisit this at another meeting, and perhaps we can invite them in to speak to it.
Yeah, so that's the other thing I just want to point out. She sent me an email today and she would have come tonight, but she's indisposed with a family emergency.
Yep,
So maybe she can come to the next one.
sure. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
Do we
anything?
need to vote on it being tabled?
I don't think so. I don't believe so.
Nobody's gonna offer a motion, it's sort
Right.
of,
Okay.
I mean, if you wanna offer a motion, it has to be in the positive.
Right, I think that
just-
we've discussed it. I'm not sure that we need to take any action on it.
Right, I'm wondering about procedural,
Yeah, if there's nobody, if nobody on the legislative body offers a motion, it's automatically tabled.
okay.
But that doesn't mean that you can't offer a motion if you want to.
No, just want to make sure we're following, staying legitimate, and we've got comments here.
Yes,
I'd like to ask a question.
sure.
Jerry Throne. So our ordinance, is it, or whatever you call it, itinerant vendor, vendors of fruit sales. The way it's written now, it says the insurance certificate, minimum coverage of $1 million. And in the packet, I see where there is automobile insurance for 100,000 bodily injury, 300,000 per person, 300,000 per accident.
Jerry, here's the liability.
So there's something else that was not in the packet.
Yes.
Right, so I saw the same thing, Jerry.
Sorry.
And so I inquired this morning about the liability insurance, and she offered that to us today, so.
They meet the minimum
Okay,
requirement.
I'll just make this other observation, and I think that the way the regulation rule ordinance reads is that it's good until the end of October, but this automobile insurance expires on October 27th. So they should not operate, if they become approved, they should not operate beyond the 27th without a renewed certificate.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else? I think there's a hand there.
Cynthia Cludier.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Tom. I just have a procedural question, if you don't mind. Do you folks on the board have documentation of what's going to be coming up on the new business before the meeting, or do you come to the meeting and then see the documentations on the new businesses?
We, Tom, we get a packet.
When do you get to see?
We get to see whatever is being offered up in terms of the new business. So under the street treats, we get their license for the business itself. We get the application, and we also get the liability insurance coverage.
When do you get that?
When do I get that?
When does the board members get that? Yes.
It's in the packet on Friday, so we and the
Okay.
public get all the information at the same time.
Okay, but you have the weekend to look at it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, anything else? All right, let's move on. We have approved SPNF attorneys to conduct the town's tax sale. And Would you like to speak to that?
Sarah Haskins, delinquent tax collector. In speaking with Jim Barlow, he suggested that a town our size should consider working with a larger attorney firm that has more than one attorney that can help us. He is a one-person, smaller firm, and although he has really enjoyed working with us through the years, he just suggested it might be more beneficial for us to be working with a larger firm, and he has suggested SP&F attorneys. Brent has worked with them on other issues for the town, and they are willing to be the tax sale attorney for this year if you so appoint them.
That's Stitchell Page, right, out of Burlington?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Will they be specific to tax, or will they be in part of our board of attorneys that we use?
So we're already using them for multiple
Yeah.
matters. And Jim provided a short list of recommended firms. This was on that list, as well as an attorney that I'm already utilizing for other matters.
Okay.
So spoke with Sarah, made an introduction, and they were actually, forthright that they needed to assess whether or not they could take on this added responsibility, because in some communities, there's a lot of delinquent taxes, but thanks to our town clerk's office, we have minimal delinquent taxes, and so when they found out the minimal number estimated, they said they'd be glad to work with us on this additional.
Okay. Great.
They had assumed that a town of our size, there would be a long list, and they were a little surprised how short our list is.
Okay, is there any other thoughts? I'd entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve SP&F Attorneys PC to conduct the town's tax sale process commenced in 2025.
So we have a motion by Richard,
I'll second.
second by Laura. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
That would be unanimous, Judy. Next up is to approve the financing for the 2024 International CV plow truck. Would you like to speak to that as well, Sarah?
Sarah Haskins, Town Treasurer. I sent out bids to 8 different lending banks. I received 4 bids back from 4 different banks. A couple of them have different options with them, requiring us to open deposit accounts with them. In speaking with Tina, the finance director, it doesn't make sense to open a bank account just to have money that we can't touch sitting in a bank that we aren't using for our everyday cash, our general cash flow accounts. So my recommendation would be to go with a Union Bank at a rate of 5.2%. It's a 5-year fixed annual amount, and all the legal fees are included. They're the lowest bid that does not require us to open a deposit account.
Yeah, Community National came in at 4.94, but when you add the $2,500 deposit account requirement, it puts them up beyond what the total estimated payment would be for the Union Bank. So it seemed to be a no-brainer that we would continue the relationship with the Union Bank at the 5.2%. Does anybody have any questions?
No.
Don't we have other business currently with Community National Bank, though? Just because I know we do with Union Bank.
Yeah, we do. So Many times, Community Bank or Community National Bank, Union Bank is not always the lowest
Right.
option. And so we have loans with them, but the Union Bank is our sole provider of,
For tax anticipation. no.
yeah, our tax anticipation note and our general day-to-day.
I just think it's interesting if we already have business with Community National that they're still requiring but they
Yeah.
are, so there you go.
They do have another quote.
Right.
That's at 4 bips higher without the deposit, but
Yeah.
it's still 4 bips.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting, okay.
I would entertain a motion.
I'll move to accept the bid from the Union Bank for a loan of $99,804 at a rate of 5.2% for 5 years for financing the purchase of a 2024 International CD plow truck.
I will second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Richard, second by Laura. Is there any discussion?
Chris.
Yes. Yep. Tom?
Get his hand in.
This buying this truck has nothing to do with the 2 accidents that the plow trucks had this winter, or the accident they had at the garage. Is that correct? I mean, that has nothing to do with that. I'm wondering why we're buying this truck.
It's part of our replacement schedule.
Right, Tom, this was voted on
Okay,
as part of the overall budget. This was in the normal schedule for replacement. As you may remember from our many budget discussions,
Right,
take
okay.
up to a year to get a truck. So this is part of the normal course of business for us.
And those accidents that the insurance in this, will this truck have that same insurance? I know sometimes don't have insurance for the trucks because it costs more than to repair them. Does the town have insurance for the truck accidents?
Well, we will have insurance under passive. And I don't, in the loan offerings, did the bank require insurance?
These are more Tina questions, and she's not here today, but no, I don't know any of the details, except for that it was part of the 2024 annual meeting that was voted on, and it just takes over a year to purchase anything. But typically, we insure our vehicles, so I might be missing your question, Tom.
Yeah,
I think what he's,
It would be really bad business not to carry insurance on municipal trucks, both for liability and other. So as long as we have trucks on the road, this truck, being a brand-new truck, will have a warranty, and the rest of the trucks in our fleet would need to be insured, or otherwise we would have to move them on.
I think what he's talking about, and I've actually heard this from other towns, that
Thank you.
it can become so expensive that under certain circumstances, that like if a vehicle is totaled, that it's cheaper to replace it than to, that's what he's talking about. Yeah, it's
Okay.
this,
All right. Thank you for clearing that up for me. Appreciate it. Thanks.
but this was the schedule.
Okay, so we have a motion by Richard and a second by Laura to accept the Union Bank loan. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
And that would be unanimous, Judy. The next item for us is to approve the local emergency management plan for 2025. I think that, as we all remember, last year, we did the very same thing. We are a part of local emergency management, and we have a planned municipal adoption form here in front of us. Jason Luno is our is our primary on this. I hope that you've had an opportunity to go through and review this. Last year, we spent some time updating the contact information, contact names, because we'd had some turnover, email addresses as well as phone numbers. I believe, in talking with Judy and Brent today, in reviewing it myself, I believe it is all in order. You all set?
All set?
Okay. I would entertain a motion then.
I will move to approve the local emergency management plan 2025 as presented and authorize Brent Raymond, the town manager, to sign.
Okay, so we have a motion by Richard,
I will second.
second by Laura. Is there any further discussion? Jerry?
Jerry Throne, you said that the email addresses were all updated, but I noticed that on page 22 of 44 of the package, which is enclosure 1, EMS interim chief Corey, the email address is still the prior chief's email address.
Yeah, thank you.
Good catch.
Yeah, good, thanks, Jerry.
And just a note on that, since if we get when we get a new chief, would we switch that over, would that immediately roll over to the new chief, or will we leave Corey?
So this is sort of a roadmap
Yeah.
for municipalities.
Yeah,
And it's meant for someone like Chief Luna or other people that are part of our response to have readily available information, procedures.
yeah,
So something like the chief of EMS or Jordan, the chief would automatically be in the loop about those types of changes. And these are updated annually anyways. So it is right that before you give me the authority to sign this, that you ask me to correct something like that. Another resident, Jamie Brewster, found a typo and emailed us, and so we've already corrected that one. But in between those annual renewals and updates, while it's important for like parties that we wouldn't normally be in touch with to be update us and let us know, it's not required that this be updated immediately. We just update it, make notes, and then next year, hopefully we have updated information.
understood.
Okay, is there a motion? You made the motion? Laura, you seconded it? So is there any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
That would be unanimous, Judy.
Just for clarification, you give me the authority to correct this email address too?
Yes.
Thanks.
Do we want to move to approve the on-the-spot awards and allow you to sign on behalf of the board?
Yes, yes, we should, please. Thank
I
you.
make a motion to approve the on-the-spot awards and authorize Chris Palermo to sign on behalf of the select board.
A motion by Richard,
I'll second.
second by Laura. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Okay, thanks, Richard. Old business, is there anything else under old business?
No.
Okay. Approve the warrants. I would entertain a motion to approve the warrants.
I'll move to approve the warrants.
Okay, motion by Richard,
Second.
second by Laura. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That would be unanimous as well. Under our schedule, we have a regularly scheduled board meetings on June 2nd at 5:30 and June 16th at 5:30. Is there any other business?
None.
Nope.
All right, thank you all very much. I'd,
Make a motion to adjourn.
motion by Richard to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Laura, and that would be unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.